Get in there, Villa fans. We have won another game of football. I'd like to say that I feel like the wins are getting easier and easier, but they're actually kind of getting harder and harder at times. But Villa fans, if you are absolutely buzzing about this victory, make sure you are firstly subscribing to the channel. Your support is absolutely huge. If you watch us and you aren't subscribed, then subscribe. If you watch us and you aren't, it means that help me out massively by showing your support by subscribing. We're close to 29,000 subscribers, so get on the journey with us. Make sure you're hitting that like button. Let's go for 1,500 likes on this stream or on the episode if you're watching sort of as and when. And then make sure you're commenting your thoughts on everything Aston Villa, the performance, how you're feeling, etc. So, yeah, I feel like, first of all, I just want to talk about how I'm feeling right now as a Villa fan. Absolutely buzzing. The victory is huge under difficult circumstances. Any game in the Premier League is very tough, and we've seen that today going to West Ham and them having a full week to prepare for us. I thought they played quite well at times. They tried to do a bit of a job on us, and at times it worked. But then we just showed this, it's not even resilience. It's just this, we've got this thing about us at the minute where if goals go in or we're losing or we've just got this ability to just win or this ability to score. Nothing really seems to be phasing this team by going a goal down. It's like we get back and we carry on with what we're trying to do. And I think that's a testament to Unai Emery of what he's actually brought. We talk about in football as a fan, you look at teams when they're not very good and they're craving for a philosophy. They're craving for an identity. And we've got one. We stick to how we're playing. We carry on. We do our way. And it's just really, really pleasing. So as a fan right now, I love this team. I love Aston Villa. And we're absolutely flying. And I think we've got to kind of just start in two places, really, on today's episode. Firstly, we're going to start with the league table. So let's start with the league table and let's have a look what this has done to us. So as we can see, if I move the chat, we can see that we are still in third place on 33 points, 3 points behind Arsenal. We have got a decent 5-point gap still to Chelsea, which is really good. So we're doing brilliant there. The next place that I would kind of like to just go to is something that I'm seeing on social media quite a lot. And it's regarding Aston Villa. And it's regarding a certain metric. Well, again, what we can see from today's performance is that the XG merchants are going to be very unhappy tonight. The XG merchants are going to be really sad because, again, the data doesn't back up their narrative of XG. Aston Villa have scored 3 goals with an XG of 0.62. And I absolutely love it that our XG isn't even at 1. And we've scored 3 goals again. So let's all just take a moment to think about the XG merchants that are probably feeling quite sad right now that Villa keep doing this. And the problem that XG has with Villa is that Unai Emery always finds a way to win. And that is what we go off on a game-by-game basis. And we've been able to do everything that we need to do to win the game. So, absolutely buzzing from a Villa point of view. So, let's talk about the game. First half, I wasn't actually that pleased with how we played. I thought we lacked intensity. I spoke about Villa needing intensity. I spoke about us having to be present. And again, away from home, we've conceded quite early to a really bad goal. And Konsa, he's very calm normally, and I think he tried to buy that foul that he buys, but there was no contact there. And he took his touch and he kind of touched the ball and it ran away from him. And at that moment, you're thinking, oh no, we've got so much to do again. We've got to fight back. We've got to come back in a game, which is always very difficult. And again, this is testament to this Villa team, is that we found a way against a Nuno-esque team, and a team that like to get a goal, like to sit in, like to defend, and then they come again a little bit. And we did really well in the sense that we got back in it. It looked like a worldie header from Watkins, but it was a Mavropanos own goal. And you were thinking, okay, we've got a crossing from deep, really good. And then we just didn't really carry on in that vein. We didn't really sort of stick it on them. We looked good on the ball for most of the game. You know, we were dominant for most of it with possession and our style, but we then conceded another bad goal. This one for me was really bad because first cross had gone in and we'd cleared it. I think it was like McGinn and Cash had cleared it. There was no distance on the clearance and we were just so slow to get out. And then the next cross comes in, Konsa clears it. We're slow to get out. And then I think it was that Fernandez again that got his shot off. And then Bowen sticks it away. And you're thinking, no, like, just not good. Like, just poor defending, another bad goal that we conceded. And then you're leaving yourself a lot to do. And we go in and we're thinking at half time, we've got to just get that next goal. And what you've got to do against a team like West Ham in the position that they're in is make their crowd feel anxious. And then we got that goal. It was a great cross on the left-hand side from Yuri Tielemans. Found Rodgers, one touch, bang, in the back of the net. Brilliant. And I spoke about Rodgers quite a bit. And I don't know if long-standing viewers will know that I've mentioned this, is that at times we've got to rely on Rodgers. Rodgers is a player that I believe can take all the pressure on his shoulders. He's the one that you can weigh heavy on and he can keep producing. You know, like Eze at Crystal Palace, FA Cup final. He's the guy. You know he's going to be the guy. But we need Rodgers to constantly be that guy for Villa. And today he was. Because when that game, in that second half, it was 2-2 and it was quite balanced. They were pushing a little bit, trying to show a bit with Bowen, Somerville, and we would go forward a bit, and we were showing a bit at the same time. We need Rodgers to be that guy that can win that game for us. And he's absolutely smacked it, edge of the box. And there was a bit in the build-up to that where Rodgers received the ball quite close to the touchline where Unai was, and he was like wriggling and roaming around there. And then he just got that ball and shot, and an open look for him, really. We'd worked an open looked space. Rodgers, head up, driving at a goal. There is only ever going to be one winner in that situation, and it's Morgan Rodgers. And what a strike it was. He's elite. He's unbelievable when he's playing like that. And he's so good. Like, and I think we've got to put pressure on Rodgers because he's a player that can handle it. And I'm okay with doing that. So absolutely brilliant stuff from Rodgers. I've got to give some shout outs before we do the player ratings. I thought Ian Maatsen was superb up against Bowen. Maatsen is having game after game after game on a consistent level now that has made him undroppable, in my opinion. Yes, he can come off for Digne, but Maatsen class. And a shout out, who he actually carried that back four today. Lindelof carried that back four because he was brilliant as well. And unlike most clubs, i.e. Arsenal, when they lose a game of football and they're going on about how their back four isn't present, we got no Pau Torres, we got no Emi Martinez, and we've still found a way to win. we don't do excuse. We can't do excuses. We get on with it. And that is very, very important that we just crack on with it. And I guess when Emery rotates that team in Europe, we bring in Bezot, we bring in Lindelof, we've brought in Maatsen. You know, Maatsen's got his main bulk of minutes in Europe. He's stepped up with good performances, and that is exactly what we need. So, all in all, absolutely unbelievable stuff from Villa. Another win. We keep winning. Absolutely great stuff. And we've got to just keep going. Someone in the chat will be asked, how many wins in a row is that now for Villa? Is it 9? So just epic stuff from Villa. Right. So we'll do player ratings, a bit of fun. I'll be serious. You hammer the chat and hammer the comments with your scores for each player. And then as I see them, I'll try and announce what the rough guide is. Yeah, it's 9 wins in a row. Right. Brilliant stuff. Good comment. Luke, spot on as always. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Right. So let's have a little cheeky look then. And we'll do the player ratings. Right. So let's share the screen. And we'll get the player rating. Before I get these player ratings on, if you guys can make sure you're hitting the like button. If you can subscribe to the channel, if you are new as well, massively helps us out. We've got over 500 people watching. So let's hit that like button and let's go. Right. So first player we've got up that's on my list is Matty Cash. I think Cash was okay today. I don't think it was Cash's best game. I think Cash was all right. I don't think it was his best one, but I'd give Cash a solid 7 today. Got to be a solid 7. We've got a super sticker here, a 149. Thank you very much for that donation, mate. Really appreciated. Let me just put me up here, and we can probably see the comments as well. So if I pin the comments on, right, here we go. Right, I'll be up here, and if I see some of your comments, I can put your comments on down the bottom as well. Right, next up is Konsa. I gotta say, guys, I'm gonna give him. I'm gonna give him. I think I'm giving him a 5. You know, he's very, very shaky today. Very shaky indeed. There was that offside goal that Bowen scored, where the line was brilliant, but at the back post we've got 3 overloading us. Very, very shaky. Looks like he'd played a game too much for me. Looks like he'd played a game too much. Probably could have done with a break in the week. But we've got to be fair. Like if I know Conser's one of our better players, but if he has a bad game, I think we've got to say he's had a bad game, because I'm telling you, if Gesson had done that in the first minute, he'd be getting absolutely hammered, right? So I'm going to give him a 5. He looks ropey, and he's probably allowed a ropey game every now and again, but where we are right now, we can't afford any ropiness from any of them, because we're at the top end of the Premier League. We need to be switched on. We need to be locked in every single game. No mistakes. Be sharp, clear mind. So hopefully that's a little bit. He's going to be in the changing room now thinking, oh, I've had a bit of a stinker, guys. Won't happen again. So we can move on from that. Right, there's some of the subs that came on, like, I'll just fly. I can't really give Digne a score. He was good when he came on. Didn't really do much, but didn't have to do much. McGinn. Well, what's our thoughts on McGinn today? I'd give him like a 6.5. I thought he was industrial today. The cross for the goal was unbelievable. I think 6.5 is quite fair. I think what West Ham did against us really well is that, if I just quickly go to this slide here, what West Ham actually did in the middle of the park against us is they went quite narrow with Bowen and Somerville. Paqueta was in there. Then they'd got that 3 of Fernandez, Potts, and Magassa. And then they've got a back four. They have been playing a back five, but they really overloaded the central area, which for me is another kind of a tick for Villa in this game, because like how we did a job on Arsenal, West Ham have tried to do a job on us in the middle of the park today, and they haven't been able to get the job done. So we've been able to see through a team trying to dominate the middle of the pitch against us, make it really narrow, and we've ended up coming out on top as well. So I think McGinn was industrial, and I think that was okay today. So a 6.5 for him, I think, is a good performance. Tielemans, I'd give the same 6.5. I don't necessarily like Tielemans when he's up top with the striker pressing. I like him when he's against Arsenal, having to drop and sort of make a hybrid three. That's what I actually like. Today, when we came up against West Ham and we're the front foot team and Tielemans is further forward, we lose him a little bit. And I think that's what we've got to make sure we're able to keep Yuri in the game, getting those touches, and he's closer to the central midfield. So that would be my thoughts on that. So McGinn and Tielemans are 6.5. Next up, did Bogard come on? I can't remember, guys. Anyway, Buendia, I actually feel like a solid 6 for Buendia. I think he came on and just gave us a little bit more of a buzz and a zip about the place. Watkins is going to have to be a 5 for me. I mean, I know he kind of helped score the first goal, but there was that one moment, I think it was in the first half, when we're absolutely tearing down on their goal and he gives the ball away at the edge of the box. Not good, guys. Not good. And it feels a bit at the minute like we're carrying him a bit. And where we are right now in the league, this team can't afford to have somebody that we're carrying. So he's massively got to improve. He's got to improve. Marlon comes on, and in 5 seconds, he's got a shot at the edge of the box that he's tested Areola. I've just got to see so much more from Watkins. Touch, control, getting involved more. I'm sorry, I can't get behind this. He has a knee injury. If he's got an injury, why on earth is he playing in the Europa League? If he is injured, he doesn't play in Europe. I can't get involved. I'm not having it. I'm not having any excuses here, guys. I'm having no excuses on anything. You know, there's just no excuse for me. If he's on that pitch, he's fit enough to play. If he's starting games, he's fit enough to play. That is it. The bottom line, right? There's no other bottom line. If he's struggling to control the football, then we've got big problems. I need to see more. I just need to see a lot more from him. So I'm not saying any more, but he's got to massively improve. Right, Rodgers has to be a 10, right? Has to be a 10. The first goal that he scored, the touch and finish, and we can go on about, you know, touch on Watkins a little bit as well. And, you know, it's never Watkins, is it? You know, it's never Watkins that's fell to. It's fell to Rodgers, and his touch was perfect. He's bagged it perfectly as well. His second goal is world class. Absolute world class finish. And he's done that a few times now this season. So I've got to put Rodgers at a 10 because I thought he was absolutely unbelievable. Beezot, I'm going to give a 7. I don't really think he could have done much with their goals. The first one, definitely not. Second one, deflected, couldn't do anything. But actually, his handling on crosses and corners, I thought was pretty good now. So a solid 7 for him. Lindelof, I'm going to give him a 9 because people would have took the piss out of us when we signed Lindelof. And he's been superb today. Absolutely superb. So a solid game for Lindelof and looked really assured. Passing was good. You know, a fresh defender in that back line. Really good stuff from Lindelof. Maatsen, I'm going to give an 8. I thought he was superb as well. I thought his one-on-one defending against Bowen was exceptional. I think one of the criticisms that we've had of Maatsen over the years, or the time he's been at Villa, is that his defending isn't as good as Digne's. I think now that narrative now for me has disappeared because his defending is very, very good. Carrying the ball, dribbling the ball, driving the ball out from the back. Really, really good stuff from Maatsen. So I think Maatsen is right up there for me. Absolutely loving him. Onana, I thought a little bit roughed up today. Was he a bit roughed up? 6.5, 6.5. Bit roughed up. Tough game. But did a job in there, I think. There was times second half where he did get his head on stuff and I felt like that was needed. But okay. Kamara, I think was slightly better than Onana. So I'd go Kamara 7. So that's what I would go with Kamara. Any other substitutions that came on, I don't think they made a massive, massive difference. Like, for example, Digne, well, he did a job, didn't he? But didn't really impact the game loads. And Unai Emery is going to get a solid 9. He'll get a solid 9 because, again, we've changed the game. We've won the game. We've done really well. So those are my player ratings. You guys have fired yours in there. You were all sort of in line with what my ratings were as well, to be honest. So we're all sort of in tune together. So that's good. But yeah, big win for Villa. Huge to keep that momentum going. We've got Man United up next. Oh, Marlon. Forgot Marlon. Oh, yes, we forgot Marlon. Okay, right. Let's just go back and do Marlon. There's always one that I forget, right? There's always one that I forget. Marlon is going to get a... Where is he? Let me just find him. Where is he? There we go. Marlon, I'm going to give an 8 because he came on the pitch again and had a big impact. He got that shot off, ran those channels really well, looked to threat. So he gets a solid 8 for me. So again, utilising the bench really well. But I think overall, you know, we got over 500 watching. So if you can hit the like button, guys, help me out. Subscribe if you're new. Overall, really pleased for the victory. Pleased with the character. We just keep churning. We just keep going. It's all about getting the victory. It's all about the belief. Plenty still to work on because I actually felt like first half we weren't very good. But then do we need to give a bit of credit to West Ham? Did they roll over? No. Did they try? Yes. Did they have a game plan to try and stop us? Yes. Probably the 2 goals I'll analyse on the debrief that I thought were bad from Villa. But we found a way to win, and that is huge. So absolutely love it. So 24 minutes, 25 minutes match reaction. We've done the watch along. So just want to say to you guys all at home, cheers for watching the content. You're all absolute legends. We've got big stuff coming over Christmas with the episodes. So we've got loads of content still to come. Man United up next. So we've got a full week of Man United content. So cheers, everyone, for watching. As always, up the Villa. You're all legends. Make sure you're hitting that like button on the way out. And see you on the debrief tomorrow. Up the Villa.